Hey everyone, today we're going to be teaching you about photoreceptors and depth perception through a hands-on learning activity. The visual system is a complex but interesting system that is made up of the eyes and the connecting pathways within the brain that leads to the visual cortex. Even though our eyes are at the front of our head, our visual cortex is actually at the very back of our head. Light is passed through the cornea, which is the clear outer portion of the eye, and then it travels through a lot of layers until it reaches the retina, which is this pink portion on the inside. There it is focused on the optic nerve, which travels into your brain, into the optic chiasm, where the right visual field and the left visual field swap places so that the right visual field is on the left portion of your brain, and then the left visual field is on your right portion of your brain. And then here is a more complicated tract that we can follow too. From your experience, why do you think we need to have two eyes? Having binocular vision is so important in order for us to have depth perception. Depth perception is our ability to distinguish relative distance between two objects and helps us see in 3D. If we didn't have one of our eyes, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of simple tasks, which we will demonstrate in this next activity. So first, everyone needs to determine their dominant eye. So in order to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to make a triangle with both hands, and then you're going to extend your arms out completely, and then put an object into that triangle, okay? So for me, I'm looking at that red box right there. So what you're going to do is then close your left eye or your right eye and see which one gives you the clear image of that object. So for me, it was the right eye. So now what we're going to do is put an eye patch over our right eye. So first we're going to do the fingertip touch activity. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold our arms out completely, and we're going to try to put both of our index fingers, we're going to try and touch them together. So ideally, what you're not going to be able to do is touch them on the first try, because our eye patches are taking away from our depth perception. So what you could do instead after that is you could do pens, try and touch the tips of the pens together, or you could try and touch the tips of eyes together. Alright, so our next activity is going to be the brain drop activity. So ideally what will happen is students will drop these little brain balls from a table height and then into this container. So it's going to be on a scoring system. So if you drop it into this hole successfully, this will be worth 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, and 4 points. And another activity you could do with this is play cornhole with a cornhole set. Just a reminder, you should have your eye patches on throughout all of these activities. For our final activity, since our eye patches have been on for about 15 minutes now, our dominant eyes should have adjusted to the dark. So there are two different photoreceptors in our eye. The first are rods. Those are responsible for vision in dim light and do not mediate color vision. The second are cones, and they are responsible for color vision, but there are fewer of them in number. Because the dominant eye was covered by the eye patch, the rods helped it adapt to the low light conditions. Students should be divided into groups of 6 and should receive 3 pairs of small wooden pieces with images on them, like this. Students should take turns using the headsets with the trays inside of them and keep the eye patch on while waiting for their turn. On each student's turn, the student should remove the insertable tray from the back of the vision goggles and place their wooden pieces onto the pieces of Velcro located on the tray, like so. Like that. Each piece of the pair should be placed on opposite sides of the tray. For example, one brain should be placed on the left, and then one other brain should be placed on the right, and the same with all of these other pieces. After all the pieces have been placed, reinsert the tray into the back of the headset. Okay, the student should now remove the eye patch from their eye while keeping their eye closed, like so. Immediately after removing the eye patch, you should place the vision goggles over the eyes, and only after that has been placed should you open your eye that has been covered for 10 to 15 minutes. You should look into the goggles and take note of color differences in the wooden pieces. Again, you should only be able to see black and white in the eye that was covered. We hope this video and our activity explains depth perception in a fun and interactive way. Thank you for listening, and this video is not sponsored by Cookout.
Science rules!